Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a clash of titans, right? Two European powerhouses battling it out for a global soccer title. The expectation, I mean, you're thinking nail-biter tactical stalemate, maybe a single goal deciding it late on, or even extra time. You're basically bracing for like 90 minutes of pure tension. But the reality, wow, it was a stunning, totally one-sided affair that left everyone's jaws on the floor, especially if you were backing the favorites, you know. It felt like it was over almost before it really began. The shockwaves are definitely still being felt.
Yeah, completely unexpected, wasn't it? A real turn-up for the books.
So we are diving deep today into the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup final. This match happened just a few days ago, July 13th, 2025.
Yeah.
Or early July 14th for those listening in Beijing time. This was Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. A fixture that, you know, promised fireworks but actually delivered a masterclass in, well, strategic domination.
Absolutely. A tactical clinic, really.
Our mission for this deep dive is to get beyond that scoreline, that decisive 3-0 win for Chelsea, and really understand the how and the why. How did it unfold in such a dramatic, unexpected way? What were the key tactical points? Which players really stepped up and who kind of crumbled under the pressure? And what does this result tell us about like the bigger picture in global soccer right now?
Good questions. Lots to dig into there.
Yeah, and we've got some incredible source material here, especially a fascinating perspective from Chinese media that really helps us get into the tactics, the big moments, and just the sheer audacity of Chelsea's approach. So are you ready to plunge into the depths of this pretty extraordinary match?
Let's do it.
Okay, kicking us off, let's really set the stage. This wasn't just any old match. This was the grand finale of the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. On one side, you had Chelsea, the English team, you know, rich history, but maybe not the strongest season going into this particular final.
Right. Definitely seen as the underdogs by many.
And on the other side, the French giants, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, a club just synonymous with superstar talent, huge investment, relentless ambition.
The pressure was immense, wasn't it? Global club championship on the line.
Exactly. The title confers not just prestige, but also, you know, a massive financial windfall, huge stakes. And the stage for this showdown, just spectacular. MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, right here in the U.S.
Huge stadium. Must have been an incredible atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. If you've ever been there for a big event, you know the scale. It was practically a full house, 81,118 fans. Staggering number.
Wow.
Yeah, just try and imagine that. Over 80,000 voices. Electric, almost deafening atmosphere under the lights. The roar, the tension must have been palpable.
Definitely adds another layer to the pressure for the players.
For sure. The match itself was July 13th, 2025. A date Chelsea fans won't be forgetting anytime soon, I imagine. And overseeing it all was the Australian referee, Alireza Fagani. Veteran official, had the full VAR system in operation too, ready for any tricky moments.
Yeah, VAR always adds an element of drama, doesn't it? Or clarity, depending on your view.
True. And behind the scenes, pulling the tactical strings, two really intriguing minds. For Chelsea, the Italian coach, Enzo Maresca. His name's been rising, hasn't it? Known for his possession style, heavily influenced by Guardiola, but maybe still relatively new at this absolute top level.
He's certainly making his mark now, though. This result is huge for him.
And for PSG, the seasoned Spaniard, Luis Enrique. Known for attacking soccer, fiery passion, coached huge clubs like Barcelona, loads of experience.
Two very different coaching profiles, in a way.
Exactly. And our Chinese media sources had this really striking description. They called it a 2.4 billion clash of giants.
Wow, 2.4 billion euros. That really puts the financial scale into perspective, doesn't it?
It does. The combined market value of the players, the investment, it's not just a game. It's like an economic behemoth on the field. And just to add to the spectacle, our sources say even U.S. President Trump was there, among other famous faces.
Really highlights the global significance of the event, then. More than just soccer fans watch.
Absolutely. A real fusion of sports, celebrity, global ambition. Quite the event.
And what's truly fascinating here, stepping back a bit, is the historical significance of this specific tournament edition. It really elevates the final beyond just this one game, because this wasn't your usual Club World Cup. This was the first one ever played under the new expanded 32-team format.
Right. That's a huge change, isn't it?
Yeah.
From the old 7-team setup.
Massive leap. Revolutionary, really. Think about it. More teams from all over the globe, way more games, a broader representation of world soccer.
And a much bigger prize pot, I heard.
Eye-poppingly bigger. A massive $1 billion total prize pool. That changes everything.
$1 billion. Wow.
Yeah, it immediately transforms the competition, makes it far more lucrative, far more prestigious. The stakes are just drastically higher for every club involved.
So it's not just about the glory anymore. There's serious money involved.
Serious money. And if we connect this to the broader soccer landscape, this final itself created another historic first. It was actually the first time in the tournament's history that two European teams contested the final.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Usually it's Europe versus South America or someone else.
Exactly. In past editions, that was the more common final matchup. So this outcome, well, it underscored the dominance of European soccer on the global club stage, at least in this first run of the new format.
Interesting. Raises questions about the balance of power, doesn't it?
It does. Does this new format solidify Europe's grip, or will it eventually open doors for others? This final definitely leaned towards Europe's strength.
Okay, so let's look at the teams themselves coming into this. The season background, the pre-match buzz. Because the narrative was really skewed, wasn't it?
Incredibly skewed. PSG came in as the massive favorites, heavy favorites. And you can see why. They'd had an absolutely stellar season. Already wrapped up a domestic treble League One, French Cup, and crucially, they just won the Champions League.
So they were basically on top of the world. Looked invincible.
Pretty much. Playing with this swagger, this confidence. Chelsea, on the other hand, well, they were the clear underdogs.
Yeah, they finished fourth in the Premier League. Respectable, sure, but not dominant.
Right. And their big trophy for the season was the Europa Conference League. That's the third tier of European competition.
So a big gap in recent achievements, on paper at least.
Huge gap. So connecting this to the bigger picture, all the pre-match talk, all the predictions were heavily leaning towards PSG carrying on their winning ways, which makes Chelsea's eventual victory even more astonishing. A real shocker for many. Turned all those expectations completely on their head.
Quintessential David versus Goliath stuff then.
Absolutely, on the very grandest stage.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Because that script, that expected narrative of a tight, competitive final, it was absolutely flipped on its head, and unbelievably fast.
It happened so quickly, didn't it?
Almost immediately. That idea of a tense battle, maybe decided by one goal or penalties, just shattered. By halftime, the scoreboard read, Chelsea 3, Paris Saint-Germain 0.
Just let that sink in. 3-0 at the break.
It's staggering. It wasn't just a lead, it felt like a psychological hammer blow. Sent shockwaves through MetLife Stadium around the world.
Essentially sealed the game early, you could argue. Left PSG completely reeling. Their fans just stunned.
Total disbelief. Okay, so the first goal, 22nd minute. And it was a moment of real quality that sort of signaled Chelsea's intent, hinted at the chaos to come.
Cole Palmer, what a night he had.
Unforgettable. He got this perfectly weighted pass back from Malo Gusto. Palmer, cool as you like, takes a touch, sets himself.
And just slots it home. Left foot, clinical.
Yeah, not a thunderbolt, but precise, calm. Gave Chelsea the lead, and you could almost feel the belief surge through their side. Maybe, just maybe.
That goal changed the whole dynamic, the whole feeling in the stadium.
But Palmer wasn't done. Not by a long shot. Just 8 minutes later, the 30th minute, boom, he strikes again.
Incredible. Doubled the lead just like that.
And sent this really emphatic message, didn't he? Like, this is my stage. I'm dominating this.
And that second goal was all about his individual brilliance.
Totally. Picked it up outside the box. Seemed to just dance through PSG defenders. Weaving, close control, quick feet.
Made space where there wasn't any, really.
And then unleashed this powerful right-footed shot. Found the net again. 2 goals in 8 minutes from him against the Champions League winners.
Electrifying. Audacious. Nobody saw that coming.
And then the killer blow, really. Just before halftime, 43rd minute, Chelsea put the game almost beyond doubt.
Made it 3-0. Crushing for PSG.
And again, Palmer involved. Showed his vision this time, not just scoring. Played this superb through pass like a laser, cut right through PSG's defense.
Found Joao Pedro's run perfectly.
And Pedro, remarkable composure for the moment, right? Faces down Donnarumma, one of the world's best keepers.
And just coolly chips it over him. Beautiful finish.
3-0. The Chelsea fans just erupted. Disbelief mixed with pure euphoria.
You can only imagine the noise.
So what does it all mean? Chelsea took a game everyone thought would be tight, maybe cagey, and just absolutely blew it wide open in 45 minutes. A first-half blitz for the ages.
Stunning display of clinical finishing, strategic execution. Nobody predicted that. And that first half performance, it truly beggars belief. Especially when you look at the stats, it immediately raises a critical question. How could a team possibly be 3-0 up at halftime when they had, like, significantly less possession?
Right, the possession stats are crazy, aren't they?
They really are. Our sources show for the whole match, PSG dominated the ball. 66.5% possession for them. Chelsea only had 33.5%.
Usually that means control dominance.
Exactly. That's typically the key indicator. But here, tells a completely different story. It highlights that Chelsea's early goals just instantly validated their whole strategy.
Which was defense and counterattack.
Precisely. They didn't need the ball. Their aim wasn't dictating play through possession. It was about being incisive, clinical when they got it, and just devastatingly effective turning defense into attack. So PSG's possession, it almost became a weakness, didn't it?
Yeah, because it let Chelsea set up deep, absorb pressure.
And then spring forward with that incredible speed into the space PSG left behind. Classic effective possession versus, well, sterile possession.
Makes sense. And the shots on target stats tell a similar story.
They add even more insight, yeah. Chelsea had fewer shots overall, 10 compared to PSG's 8, but Chelsea were way more clinical. They managed 5 shots on target, which led directly to their 3 goals.
Okay, 3 goals from 5 shots on target. That's efficient.
Extremely efficient. Now look at PSG. They had 6 shots on target, actually more than Chelsea, but scored 0 goals.
Wow. 6 shots on target, no goals. That's bad.
It's telling, isn't it? It's not just about poor finishing, though that might be part of it. It speaks volumes about Chelsea's defensive solidity. They prevented really clear-cut chances, and of course the performance of their goalkeeper was outstanding.
So PSG might have been getting shots off, but maybe not from great positions, or Sanchez was just unbeatable.
Probably a bit of both. Their shots might have had a low expected goals value, or their finishing just wasn't there when it mattered. That phrase, clinical efficiency, just perfectly describes Chelsea in this match. That's what wins you finals.
Right. And beyond Palmer's individual brilliance, this deep dive really shows this was a massive tactical victory, too. Like you said, a clinic.
A grand chess match, almost.
Yeah, played out on the soccer field. Every move, every position, part of this bigger, incredibly well-executed plan. And Enzo Maresca, Chelsea's coach, he was the grandmaster here.
He certainly seemed to anticipate everything PSG tried to do, set traps they walked right into.
Our sources suggest Maresca's game plan was textbook, solid defense plus fast counterattack. Not revolutionary maybe, but perfectly implemented. Disciplined.
They didn't try to match PSG's intricate passing, did they? That would have been risky.
No way. Instead, Maresca set up that low defensive block. Defensive lines sitting deep, edge of their own box sometimes. Really compact, designed specifically to lure PSG forward. Let them have the ball, but only in areas where they couldn't really hurt Chelsea.
Deny space in those crucial zones. Absorb the pressure.
Exactly. And then, the moment they won possession, back, boom. Exploit the huge spaces PSG left behind. Using the pace of Palmer, Joao Pedro, transition and flash.
Often with just a couple of passes, right? So direct.
Super direct. And at the heart of it all, that midfield engine. A formidable pairing. Our Chinese media sources call them the 300 million iron triangle.
Catchy phrase. Refers to Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, I assume.
Exactly. Largely based on their combined transfer fees. It's not just catchy, though. It underscores the huge investment, and in this game, wow, did it pay off.
They were immense, weren't they?
Totally. Caicedo's role was crucial. Winning the ball back, interceptions, breaking up PSG's rhythm, just relentless, a ball-winning machine.
Herbert's so much grand.
And Enzo Fernandez, he was the orchestrator, the deep-lying playmaker. Organized things, distributed the ball quickly, precisely, launching those counters.
So one disruptor, one organizer, great balance.
Yeah, together they just choked off PSG's central play. Stifled their creative hub, forced them wide where Chelsea's defense was waiting, compact, impenetrable.
It wasn't just individual talent, it was how they were deployed strategically. Seamlessly connected, that's a critical point. Maresca effectively neutralized PSG centrally, forced them wide. And connecting this to the bigger picture, Luis Enrique's tactics for PSG just visibly struggled against that discipline, didn't they?
Look that way. What specifically didn't work for PSG?
Well, our sources say Enrique tried using a false nine system, where the main striker drops deep into midfield.
Right, to try and pull defenders out of position.
Exactly. Create space for others running from deep. But against Chelsea's super tight, organized, low block, it just didn't work.
No space to exploit.
None. Chelsea's defenders held their lines perfectly, refused to be drawn out. It was like trying to unlock a door that wasn't even there.
What about their press? PSG usually press high, don't they?
They do. Their typical high press, pushing up to win the ball back quickly, completely backfired in that first half, massively.
Well said.
Instead of disrupting Chelsea and forcing mistakes near Chelsea's goal, it just opened up these huge, inviting spaces behind their own defense.
Playing right into Chelsea's hands for the counterattack.
Precisely. With Palmer and Pedro's pace, Chelsea were ruthless exploiting those gaps. A Chinese tactical analyst really hit the nail on the head. They said PSG's biggest problem was too large a gap in attack-defense transition.
Meaning they were too slow getting back when they lost the ball.
Exactly. Too slow, too disorganized, getting back into shape after pushing forward left them incredibly vulnerable to those lightning breaks, a structural weakness Chelsea just exploited perfectly again and again.
Turned PSG's attacking intent completely against them.
And the post-match comments from the coaches, so telling, gives you that rare glimpse into their thinking after a big final. Enzo Maresca, Chelsea's coach, boldly claimed, "We won the game in the first 10 minutes.
Wow. Before even the first goal.
Yeah, it implies the tactical setup, the players' execution was so effective right from the start that the outcome was almost predetermined by their strategy. Speaks volumes about the planning.
And Luis Enrique, what did he say?
He was remarkably candid, actually. Admitted, Chelsea was more efficient than us. They exploited our weaknesses well. Tactically, they caused us problems in the first half, and we reacted too slowly.
That's quite an admission. Basically saying they were outcoached, outthought.
It is. It's not just acknowledging defeat. It's admitting being strategically outmaneuvered and unable to adapt quickly enough. Which raises an important question for you listening. How often do you really see a top coach, especially of a team like PSG, admit that so clearly after a final?
Not very often. Really underscores the tactical masterclass from Chelsea and maybe the breakdown for PSG. It certainly does. And while tactics were key individual moments, individual performances, they always define these big games too, don't they?
Absolutely. Brilliance and struggle often go hand in hand on this stage.
And while Palmer was obviously the star, 2 goals, and assist our deep dive shows, this was far from a one-man show for Chelsea. It was a real team effort.
Definitely needed contributions across the pitch.
And on the flip side, there was that one moment of undeniable drama that kind of summed up PSG's frustration.
Yes, the red card incident.
We'll get to that. But first, let's talk about Chelsea's unsung heroes. Players beyond the goal scorers who were critical. Robert Sanchez, the goalkeeper. Outstanding. Made 6 crucial saves, kept that clean sheet.
Huge. 6 saves is a busy night and vital for maintaining momentum when you're ahead.
For sure. Our Chinese media source gave him an 8.5 rating. Shows how decisive he was.
Yeah.
Kept PSG out despite their possession and shots on target. A rock.
He really stepped up.
Then Moises Caicedo, the midfielder. We mentioned the iron triangle. His individual effort was immense. Excellent interceptions, breaking up play, limiting PSG's central leg.
Tireless work rate, you could see it.
Yeah, earned an 8.0 rating, testament to his defensive work. And Joao Pedro, the 3rd goal scorer, also got an 8.5.
Described as newcomer immediately effective, wasn't it?
Yeah, showed quick adaptation, composure, and scored that killer goal just before halftime. Put the game to bed, really. These guys, maybe not grabbing headlines like Palmer, were vital. Showed the power of the unit.
Definitely. Now, in stark contrast, let's look at the PSG side, because when you have that level of talent, expectations are sky high, and some just didn't deliver.
Like who?
Ousmane Dembélé, for instance. Rated a disappointing 6.0 by the Chinese media. Indicates a below-par performance.
He missed chances.
Missed key chances, yeah. Opportunities a player of his quality would normally bury. That lack of clinicality was a big factor in PSG not scoring. Moments that could have shifted the game just didn't come off for him.
That must have been incredibly frustrating for their fans.
And also notable was Lee Kang, the Korean midfielder. Sources mentioned him specifically, only Asian players starting, lots of eyes on him from Chinese fans.
How did you?
Described as mediocre, suggests he couldn't really impose himself, provide that creative spark PSG needed, struggled against Chelsea's discipline.
Tough night for him then.
But what's truly fascinating, and maybe the most symbolic moment of the whole match, the event that perfectly captured PSG's emotional unraveling.
A red card.
The red card. 85th minute, game's long gone. Midfielder Joao Neves gets a direct red. And for what? Pulling Marc Cucurella's hair?
Pulling hair? Seriously.
Seriously, not a tactical foul, not a desperate challenge, just pure frustration. A complete loss of composure, almost childish, really.
And VAR confirmed it.
Oh, yeah. VAR reviewed it, confirmed the red, no doubt. And the aftermath, the reaction just underlined the frustration. Chinese fans commenting things like, pulling hair, red card, typical emotional loss. Signifying it was a breaking point, a symptom of PSG's mental collapse under pressure.
Wow, that's quite something.
Our sources even mention a minor skirmish between players and staff after the final whistle. Just highlights the raw intensity, the frustration boiling over for PSG.
It really raises that question again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much does emotional control or the lack of it play into the outcome of these huge finals, especially when you're being outplayed?
Seem like PSG's undoing in more ways than one here. A total unraveling.
Okay, let's quickly unpack the numbers, because sometimes the cold, hard data, it tells an even more compelling story than the highlights, strips away the emotion.
Stats don't lie, as they say, though they need context.
True. Let's revisit that possession paradox first. It's so striking. PSG was 66.5%, Chelsea just 33.5%. On paper, you'd think PSG dominated. But, as we've discussed, it became a testament to Chelsea's counterattacking brilliance.
It wasn't about having the ball, it was what they did without it, and the devastating efficiency when they did have it, quality over quantity.
Exactly. Now, shots and clinicality. Chelsea, 10 shots total, 5 on target, 3 goals.
Efficient.
PSG, 8 shots total, 6 on target, 0 goals.
That's the killer stat right there. More shots on target, but nothing to show for it.
Here's where it gets really interesting for PSG fans, and probably incredibly frustrating. They had more shots on target than Chelsea, yet scored nothing. Chelsea convert 3 from 5.
Highlights Chelsea's incredible finishing efficiency, their clinicality, and PSG's complete lack of it. Either the chances weren't good enough despite being on target, or the finishing buckled under pressure. Or both.
Yeah. And the goalkeeping stats back this up too, right?
Absolutely. Connecting this to defensive fortitude and goalkeeping, Sanchez for Chelsea made 6 saves. Donnarumma for PSG only made 2.
6 saves versus 2. Tells you who was busier.
And crucially, more decisive in preventing goals. Reinforces that while PSG got shots on target, Sanchez denied them consistently. Pivotal role in that clean sheet.
Also supports Chelsea's strategy, maybe. Allow shots, but from less dangerous spots, trust your keeper.
Exactly. Trust the system, trust the keeper, and Sanchez delivered. Testament to both the defensive structure and his individual display.
Okay, what about discipline? Fouls and cards.
Right. These numbers often reflect intensity and emotional state. Chelsea committed 15 fouls, PSG 12.
So Chelsea slightly more fouls.
Yeah, and Chelsea got 4 yellow cards, PSG got 2 yellows, plus that very memorable red for Jean Neves.
So what does that suggest? Chelsea played rougher, more disruptive, or PSG just lost their cool?
Probably a mix. Chelsea's physicality and tackling were definitely part of their plan to disrupt PSG's rhythm, which can lead to more fouls. But PSG's increasing frustration likely manifested in less disciplined play and those emotional outbursts culminating in the red card. It felt like a reaction to being outplayed.
Makes sense. Finally set pieces. Corners.
Quick look there. Chelsea had 3 corners, PSG had 5.
So PSG had more corners too.
Yeah, but despite having more opportunities from corners, often a vital route to goal, PSG couldn't convert any. Just further demonstrates Chelsea's defensive resolve, their organization, even against set-piece threats. Unyielding.
The numbers really do paint that picture. Tactical superiority from Chelsea, breakdown for PSG. So what does all this mean for the history books? Because this wasn't just a big game. It set some significant milestones, didn't it?
It really did. Stuff that will be remembered for years.
For Chelsea, this was huge. More than just another trophy. It made them the first English team ever to win the Club World Cup twice.
Adding this 2025 win to their 2021 triumph, that's a big deal.
Yeah, not just a repeat, but a real statement about their sustained global presence. Few clubs can boast that. And the money.
Ah, yes, the financial side. Significant boost there, too.
Our sources say over $125 million in prize money for Chelsea from this win. That's enormous.
Wow, $125 million. That's game-changing money, even for a big club. Helps future investments, cements their elite status.
Absolutely. Now, for PSG, a landmark event too, but for very different, much more painful reasons.
Their first ever Club World Cup final appearance.
Right, which is an achievement in itself. Shows their rise. All that investment paying off to get there.
But that debut on the biggest stage ended in what our sources called a crushing defeat.
Yeah, a bitter pill to swallow for a club with those aspirations, that investment. Especially after winning the Champions League. Just highlights how unforgiving finals can be.
Tiny margins, One bad half tactically outfoxed, and it can all unravel. And what's truly fascinating here is how the Chinese media framed this victory. They extended its significance beyond just Chelsea and PSG.
How so?
They described it as not just Chelsea's victory, but another victory for English counterattacking, physical soccer over European technical possession-based style.
That old debate. Physicality versus technicality,
Yeah.
Premier League versus the continent.
Exactly. It taps right into that long-standing, often passionate discussion. The Premier League style, high-intensity, physical, direct, fast transitions versus, say, Spanish or Italian influenced styles, more technical, intricate passing, possession, patient build-up.
And this match definitely fuels the English-style argument, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Chelsea's pragmatic counters dismantling PSG's possession game.
It certainly offers strong evidence for that viewpoint. Makes you wonder, is it a sign of a shift or just a perfect plan perfectly executed on the day?
Good question.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, this game perfectly exemplifies that powerful idea may be relevant beyond soccer, too. The idea that perfect tactical execution and cohesive teamwork can consistently triumph over just stacking up individual talent and high-value players.
Right. PSG is famous for its superstars, huge transfer fees, massive wages, some of the most gifted individuals out there.
Yet on this day, Chelsea, seen as the underdog, tactically astute coach, completely outmaneuvered them, showed that a well-drilled, unified team following a superior plan can beat even the most glittering array of stars.
The underdog beating the stronger team narrative that the Chinese media highlighted.
Exactly. Underscores that while individual brilliance is amazing, the collective strategy, the system, can be even more powerful. Makes you think, doesn't it? In any competition, how often can strategy and teamwork overcome perceived individual strength?
Definitely food for thought. And the beauty of a match like this isn't just the game itself, but that immediate explosion of reaction. Fans, media.
Instant analysis and emotional outpouring, yeah.
And our sources give us this fantastic window into the Chinese media and fan response. It was absolutely buzzing.
Huge interest over there, clearly.
On social media, especially Weibo, massive platform in China, this match dominated. Hashtags like hashtag Chelsea champions, hashtag Palmer is a big occasion, hashtag shot straight to the top. Huge engagement.
Shows the global reach, doesn't it?
Totally. And the headlines were so evocative. And T-Sport saying Palmer went crazy just captures the shock and excitement over his performance. Clear sign this was a global phenomenon.
Not just a European final, but a world event.
And the fan reactions quoted in our sources, they paint such a vivid picture of the emotional roller coaster. There was that sense of disbelief. Didn't expect the script completely flip. Who thought Chelsea 3-0 PSG? Captures the shock perfectly.
Sums up what most people felt, I think.
And the pure joy from the winners. Blues or gods forever. That raw passion from Chelsea fans reveling in the upset.
You love to see that supporter passion.
And the agony for PSG fans. PSG's dream start turned nightmare. Just expressing that profound disappointment, seeing their amazing season end so sourly.
Heartbreak for them, no doubt.
And, of course, the adulation for Palmer. Palmer has chosen one, confirmed his instant hero status after that display. A snapshot of the raw, immediate human response.
It really is. Shows how deeply people connect. And stepping back, it makes you think again about that red card. Why did Joao Neves pulling hair become such a symbolic moment for Chinese fans? A mark of PSG's collapse.
Yeah, it wasn't a goal or a penalty, just frustration.
Exactly. It highlights how those moments of indiscipline, especially ones that seem petty or show a loss of composure, can often define a game's narrative more than tactics or even goals.
Yeah.
For the fans, it became the visual symbol of PSG unraveling, losing not just on the scoreboard, but emotionally, mentally. Fascinating how human drama overshadows the technical stuff sometimes.
Very true.
And what's also fascinating here is just how universally appealing that underdog triumphs narrative is. You saw it in the surprise and celebration of Chelsea's win against the mighty PSG.
Even though both are giants, Chelsea were definitely seen as underdogs here.
Right, given PSG's season. So when a team defies those odds, pulls off a decisive win like that, it resonates deeply everywhere. Its resilience, strategic genius, seizing the moment. Everyone loves that story, regardless of who they support. That's why we love soccer, right? The beautiful game, always capable of that unexpected twist.
Absolutely. So wrapping this up, what does it all mean? Our deep dive into this Chelsea versus PSG Club World Cup final. Well, it's shown us a masterclass in tactics, hasn't it?
Definitely. Tactical brilliance.
A stunning individual performance from Palmer, and just a powerful reminder that in soccer, the script is always always open for revision.
Never predictable.
We've seen how Maresca's blueprint, that disciplined low block, those blistering counters, just perfectly nullified PSG's star power and possession game. And we saw Cole Palmer seize his moment. 2 goals and assist became the king of finals, according to Chinese media. Game-changing stuff.
He really stepped up on the biggest stage.
So this wasn't just a 3-year scoreline. It was really a testament to preparation, execution, and that ability to turn perceived disadvantage into a decisive victory. Truly unforgettable match.
It will be talked about for a long, long time. And if we connect this to the broader implications, this Chelsea win, especially in the context of the new Club World Cup format, the huge prize money, it really asks us to consider a fundamental question about elite soccer's future.
Which is?
Is the future less about just raw spending, accumulating individual stars, and more about who can best synthesize strategy and team cohesion, especially on these biggest stages?
This game certainly makes a strong case for the latter, doesn't it? Strategy and unity, trumping star power.
It does, which raises an important final question for you, the listener, to ponder as you go about your day. What other areas in life, beyond the soccer pitch, could perhaps benefit from a similar tactical underdog approach, where strategic execution and collective effort might just trump perceived strength or individual status? Interesting thought.
Keep that thought with you.